Yo, what up? It's your boy Richie, and today I bring you the ultimate Sentry guide or slash milestone for Builderman guide. Now, a general rule of thumb of when playing or placing down turrets is to make it as inconvenient as possible, because the killer going out of their way to destroy the turret wastes a lot of time, so you want to purposely put it in very inconvenient spots. You also, number two, want to abuse high ground because the turret can shoot down. It's got infinite range as long as it's in the radius. It could shoot down as long as something's in it. So correct spots on every map, there's areas where you can abuse that. And putting turrets in certain spots, 90% of spots actually makes them infinite. If a killer does not destroy the turret, it is impossible for them to catch up no matter who they're playing. Now I'm going to personally show you placements of very good placements on every single map. There's at least one good spot that you can use. Even if you just keep constantly placing the turret in the same spot, it still provides a lot of value. Just make sure that you're using the environment to your advantage. Placement's kind of iffy on this one, but you want to kind of get like the ramp and slightly back down the ramp and then to the left. So he kind of pushed me here a little bit. I know it was on accident. He's just helping me out with a video. Right in the corner of this area, because a lot of survivors like to loop up into the stone area, or if they're coming around, it will catch the killer on both ends. Another very high traffic area. This corner of the area, another high traffic area, very inconvenient for the killer. A lot of people loop this area if they're not looping the castle. Also, very good spot. Nine times out of 10 on this map, you'll spawn in the far back area. Try to put it on both corners. Put it diagonal from the entrance. If you do it correctly, this loop becomes an infinite, and if the killer does not break this turret, you can loop them for the entirety of the trial on both ends. This is where we start abusing high ground. This is by far the best turret spot you can have on this map. It will shoot them down, unless they are no Lee or Cool Kid. This turret is a pain to get rid of. Now, unfortunately, that spot that I did show you is the best spot in this game, but 9 times out of 10, people that play Forsaken absolutely do not understand that your turrets are helpful for some reason and just will not go to that area for some reason. So I actually like to put my Sentry right here because it shoots through all 3 of the doors, and it's another high traffic area that a lot of people like to loop. This is also another good spot to put your turret. A lot of people like to camp this area. I don't recommend camping this area whatsoever, but people will do it. So if you want to help out, or if you want to try to do that gen in the corner, this is a good spot. This is another very, very good spot. It is very hard for a killer to, if you put it correctly, it's impossible for the killer to M1 it from the corner, and they have to climb up the stairs in order to get rid of the turret. Your main problem with this turret spot, though, is for some reason, 9 times out of 10 lobbies I go into, nobody ever loops here when I put a turret here. That just does not exist. So it's a really good spot, but it's probably not going to get as much value because nobody will loop here. Now this is another insane spot, and honestly, if you're playing on this map, this is the spot that you should be prioritizing. This spot's going to get the most value. Everybody likes to loop over here. You really should be only putting your Sentry in this spot or that other spot that I showed you, because this map's just kind of like, it's a lot of weird loops, but these are going to be the 2 best spots that you can get, because most people, or most killers, cannot M1 this, and they have to use either projectile, or they have to climb all the way around just to get rid of the turret. Now you kind of have to position yourself correctly, but if you do it correctly and you put your Sentry into the hand once they break the turret, it will imply slowness from the hands on them. You should also spawn here 9 times out of 10, so it's a very good spot to put your turret immediately. Now, I do kind of mess up the positioning here, but this is by far the best sentry spot on this map. It's a very common high traffic looping area, and if you place it correctly, the killer cannot M1 just like the other high ground spots. Now with this area, this is a very good loop. With some killers, this is already actually an infinite by itself if you play it correctly. So you could honestly, in this little area right here, little playpen, you could put your turret pretty much in any position and it will get insane amount of value. Now right here is another spot I like if I'm just trying to put a turret on the map and the killer's kind of near that area, that little high ground area that I just like to put it over here. Nine times out of 10, you'll spawn over here. This is a good spot, especially if the killer is just. But usually they'll try to immediately run down this area, and that's just a decent looping spot. So now Pirate Bay does have a lot of very good high ground spots, but the difference between this and other maps is that you kind of have to angle the placement correctly so that it's actually pointing the correct direction as when you're aiming. But it will shoot down the ramp as they're coming up and if they come from the back. So, and you could do this on all 3 sides of the ramp, which I'll show you. More high ground abuse, this is more of the middle area. It will shoot down from the ramp area, and also if they're coming up to come hit it, because they can't M1 it from the ground, they have to come up. Now this is the little like building area to the far left. It's okay. A lot of bad players will go up and they'll take the fall off penalty, but a lot of people that are really good at looping will take the back path. So this is good for either or of which a person picks. Now, like John Doe, this is unfortunately your worst map. You're not going to get a lot of value here, but I'm still going to show you some decent spots. Oh, this spot, another really good high ground spot. You might, just because it's Planet Boss, you're probably not going to get as much value as you think. But if a lot of people are running up and down this ramp, even though they shouldn't be, it's a good turret spot. Now onto the next map. What is this? What the hell's going on? Help me! And then basically just place your turret into the endless void, and it should get you a lot of value.
The Forsaken song starts now. We are forsaken. We are trapped in this realm.
Again, you'll probably spawn over here. This is a decent spot. This spot right here is my favorite. This is a very high traffic area. It's kind of out of the way, so it's kind of bothersome to the killer. This area is very high traffic. A lot of people are going to try to loop here, so getting your turrets over here is definitely the best spot. And you can place a turret by both entrances. Now this one's kind of a weird angle to put on, but if you do it correctly, it will shoot down. So if people are coming out from the main building, or if they're coming from the side, it will shoot the killer. And if it's at enough of a high ground, the killer has to come up and hit it. Now this spot right here is okay. I like to put my turret over here if the killer's over by the main building and I just want to get my turret on the ground. This is where you usually spawn. This is a good spot. A lot of people like to loot this house. Now this is my favorite spot on this map because it gets a lot of people confused when they first see it. They're probably like, Richie, why are you placing that turret in the water? What's the point? Well, if the killer goes and breaks it, they now get slowness 2 from the water, and if you didn't know, whatever your most recent debuff of slowness is that's what it gives you, and since the water gives more, it's going to put that on them. So, and this 9 times out of 10 will win you chase on this map. More high ground abuse. This will shoot down and them coming up. This is my second favorite spot to put on this map because a lot of people like to loop this area also. Now this spot is okay. There's honestly a lot more better spots you can honestly put your turret, but if you're just trying to get your turret in a very decent spot, because this is not a bad spot at all, a lot of people loot this area, then this is a very good spot to put. Now this is another good spot. My problem with this is that it just gets overshadowed. If you're just going to put it here, just put it in the water because the water's literally to the right and it provides way more value. But if the killer's like for some reason just like chasing someone near the water and you can't, this is like an okay spot to put your turret. Right, here's another good spot. Very high traffic area. A lot of people like to take this loop if it's not like a cool kit or a noli. And if you put it correctly, it's really inconvenient and the killer has to get rid of it, and it makes the loop an infinite. Now sorry if the footage gets a little choppy here. This is why you don't play no cooldowns with people that play with TAF, because it will absolutely bomb your PC. My friend that was actually playing killer actually literally could not move on their mobile phone. So yeah. Now this right here, this high ground spot, is my favorite turret spot on this map. This is a pretty decent spot, pretty high traffic. A lot of people come this area. It shoots down. It makes the jumping down safe. Now this is a good spot, but it's definitely a weird one for me. I either get a lot of value from this spot or nobody ever uses it. Basically, it's gonna shoot the killer as they're coming up and as they jump down. Placing your turret on any of the ramps on this map is decent. It will definitely help out. A lot of people will be using them as they loop. Will be kind of easy for the killer to break, but that's okay as long as it's just giving that slowness. You're still getting value from the turret. So 9 times out of 10 you'll spawn over here. This is definitely a good spot, especially if the killer comes straight towards you. You have some decent looping over here. This is definitely the second best spot I would say on this map. Good high ground abuse, really good value, and very annoying for killers. You can put this turret on either side. This is by far my favorite and also the best turret spots you can put. The high ground makes it impossible for the killer to hit it. They have to climb up. This loop becomes an infinite if the killer does not break the turret. This spot's okay, some good high ground abuse, just not a lot of people loop over here. There's also, you really kind of shouldn't be looping over here. There's not a lot of stuff to take advantage of, so. This is another good, okay sentry spot. I would only do this if a lot of people in the lobby are looping this building. Otherwise, it's just not going to get that much value, and you have other spots you should be placing it. Spot's very good. More high ground abuse. Can shoot over the river, around. A lot of people are going to be looping around this area. So it's definitely a good turret spot. Also, side note, placing diagonal from any of the bridges is a good spot. A lot of people are going to be looping the bridges, so it's definitely a good spot to consider placing your turret. Now placing this turret is probably the best place you can place the turret. However, I would only do this if your lobby has people that actually know how to loop, because people that know how to loop will abuse the house because it's the best loop in the game. So if you place your turret there, it will get value, but if you're in a bot lobby, it's not going to get any value because nobody's going to go in the house. Now right here is okay, I like this spot. I would only do this if a lot of people are constantly running 360s around this area. Otherwise, I would just place it in other spots. Now right here is a very good spot. The problem is that it's super finicky to get correctly. I don't even remember if I do it correctly in the video or not, but if you do it correctly, it does a whole 360 around the whole fence area, and it will shoot down, and it's very good high ground base. So if you could get it to work, definitely place your turret there. If not, and you're dumb like me, then don't do it. So that was every map in the game. I appreciate you for sticking this long in the video. If I missed some of your favorite turret spots, please let me know in the comments. Please let me know if you enjoyed this turret guide, and let me know if you would like to see more videos like this in the future. But anyways, peace out. You guys have a good one.